Hey everyone, welcome into the program. We've got another good one for you today. Someone that is literally on the rise. His name is Adam Yetter, and we're going to talk to him right now. In order to sell more life insurance, you need an automated, predictable system that works. Hey Adam, how you doing, man? How's it going for you today, buddy?
Hey Earl, I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, I'm literally doing amazing. I'm so glad to have you in here. You are one of the people that's in our Agent Accelerator program that is literally on the rise right now. And so I'm excited to kind of hear about your journey because I really don't know what it is. This is like cold for me. I saw you on our Agent Accelerator call yesterday. You were smiling just like you're smiling right now. So let me ask you this. I'm going to dip back into your backstory a little bit, but I want to ask you, like, how long have you been in the Agent Accelerator program? When did that start for you?
I've been in the program about 2 months.
2 months.
Exactly 2 months. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now, how long have you actually been selling life insurance? That's a good part right there.
Yeah, I've been selling life insurance for about just shy of 3 years.
Hmm.
And before that, I was selling supplemental health insurance
Wow.
for about another dozen years before that. So,
Really? You
yeah.
look like you're 12. How, I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I got started pretty young, man. I don't know what people were thinking, letting me talk them into doing anything when I was 25 and 26.
well,
But,
that's crazy, but it
you know,
also shows, I mean, you've got a skill set, obviously, that you're able to really take advantage of with this. What kind of made you want to actually get into life insurance after doing the whole supplemental thing and all that other stuff
yeah, I
for,
wanted a broader, pool to be able to help, just a broader base of people.
yeah.
The products that I was selling before, I was selling life insurance, were more niche and narrow,
Okay.
and I just wanted to be able to help people. Obviously everybody's gonna need, what do they say, death and taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to be a small fish in a very, very big pond, rather than vice versa, where I was before. So.
Gotcha. With this whole journey that you've been on, and are you still doing other stuff? Or are you exclusively doing life insurance
No,
now? Or?
I'm exclusively a life insurance producer now.
Gosh. So for the past 3 years, you've kind of been digging into this whole thing.
Hmm.
Talk to me about the challenges over the past 3 years. I mean, 3 years ago, okay, you got in like right around the time of the freaking pandemic. So the whole world kind of blew up at that point. So what have kind of been some of the things that have kind of held you back or that you thought were issues or problems that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, it's been different. It's changed. Obviously, you're right. The pandemic and everything. My early challenges were just getting people to agree to meet with me in person. I,
Wow.
I was old school, Earl. I came up and I was actually sitting down with people in their living rooms
Hmm.
for, like I said, like a dozen years. So definitely a particular skill set. But when I first started and transitioned to life insurance, that was all going on. And so, I just needed to find the people that were comfortable with setting up face to face meetings, and that was kind of my bottleneck at that time. And
Yeah.
then since then, obviously that kind of stuff has settled down, not as much of an issue then. But I've got three young kids, and my wife and I, we've
Wow.
raising a family and stuff, and I really, I really like the idea of not spending so much time on the road and driving around, and it's the wear and tear on my body, being in the car and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I wanted to transition and work in a way that I was able to work mostly by referral, so that I could already have some trust built into the process, and therefore we could maybe do business, more on phone calls and remotely like that. So I was working on that, and was working a lot of mortgage protection leads, which was great
Wow.
while it lasted. And then the rates went from 2% to 7% in a year,
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
mortgage transactions fell apart. And that's all right, But so that's, I guess, what inspired this big transition for me. And really, I'm glad that I did it because. Like I said, my back is thanking me for it, and my wife and kids are thanking me for it. And so, I just want to thank y'all for putting this
Wow.
platform together, because it's really been a big blessing, and it's really been a lot of the things that I've really wanted for a long time, but just didn't have like the system to exactly plug into to be able to get it. So
Yeah. The putting yourself in the right vehicle is always
yeah.
important. How long had you been? I mean, you've been with us for 2 months at Arturo Johnson Consulting, in our Agent Accelerator program. How long had you been like watching us, like before you even like said, "I need to reach out to these guys"? What was going on with you?
Yeah. So I was hoping that the the mortgage market would bounce back or something, and was kind of holding
Hmm.
on to that. And then I had it was just a close, personal friend of mine that I've run with for years and years that I knew from the previous life, who had gotten in with y'all a while back, and he was kind of dripping on me and let me know kind of how it was going.
Hmm.
And he's somebody that I trust a lot. His name's Todd, and
Yeah.
he's got a spider sense for these kinds of things. And so once he told me that it was legit, and that y'all did what you said you would do, and that the leads are profitable, and everything's firing on all cylinders. Once I heard that from him, I really didn't need to look too much into it, other than just to go ahead and turn it on and get it fired up. So
Wow. The we always know, like in the Agent Accelerator program, there's kind of a little ramp up time, right? As far as really getting things going, which is normal. You're probably kind of learning a couple of new skill sets to use. You'd been used to running at home. Had you started doing virtual before you came to AJC, or?
nope, not at all, not at
Wow.
all.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
dig into that because like how scary was that? Like to say, cause you were used to going in home for all these years, right?
Yeah.
So how did that, what was that like mentally for you, emotionally, to say, okay, I'm just going to do this on the phone now? Because a lot of agents have kind of a trepidation about that, doing virtual sales as opposed to in home. Hey, I just want to break in here for just a couple of seconds. If you're a life insurance agent that wants to go from 0 to 100K per month, I need you to listen up. We have a free course that you can grab right now. The link is in the description for this video. You're going to get over 30 hours of training and deep dive instruction on how you can do this. It is the best performing piece that we have that is absolutely free to life insurance agents to take them from where they are 100K plus every month. Follow these instructions, grab the course. It's called Life Insurance Agent University.
Well, hey, welcome to career in sales. We
Yeah.
we eat rejection and fear for breakfast.
I
So
love it.
yeah, I mean, it was scary and something I wasn't familiar or comfortable with, but that's sort of how I knew I was in the right spot, because I know that I've been able to learn and adapt through all these years that I've had a sales career,
Hmm.
and so I knew that I would continue learning and adapting. And if Todd can do it, I can do it. There's nothing special
Oh, yeah.
about
Nothing special about
any
Todd.
any
He's
any
nobody.
of us. And so it was once what I did, Earl, is I plugged in and I got on a Zoom call and was able to kind of like be a fly on the wall
Yeah.
with Todd, and kind of listen in while he was making some phone calls and talking to some veterans and stuff. And once I observed that, I was like, okay, I get the idea. Like, obviously, I'm not super comfortable doing that today, but if I start doing it 5 days a week, every week, then obviously I'll get pretty comfortable pretty quick, and that's what
Yeah.
happens. So
I mean, Todd's an amazing guy. He's an amazing agent and agency owner. So, I mean, I'm happy that he's in our program because he's one of the kings, and he influenced you as well with that, and even in making that transition over to that, and you kind of had made up your mind, because if you keep doing the same thing you always did, you're going to get the same thing you always got. So you were ready for that type of change in this 2 months that you've been with AJC. Kind of tell us about that journey for you. How did it start,
hmm
and where are you now? That's what
yeah.
we want to know.
So I really wish I would have started sooner. That's probably my biggest regret. I was trying to hold on to hope that what I had been doing in the past, which it wasn't really comfortable exactly. I mean, again, there were things I didn't love about it, but you know how it goes. You're doing it because
Yeah.
it works and it keeps on working, so you keep on doing it, kind of thing. And I
Hmm.
was still holding on to hope that would like bounce back, or that I would recover, that kind of thing. And so as a result, I sort of drug my feet for about a month or two. And I really wish I wouldn't have, because I would have been in a lot stronger position to really be able to lean in and invest, faster.
Hmm.
But I do feel like I had a pretty okay start. I was able to a little bit better than break even my first month
Hmm.
in the program, which, from what I'm told, that Todd told me ahead of time that basically if you're breaking even, you're pretty much crushing it in the
Hmm.
first month. But then since then, last 30 days, I just went back and made a tally. I've issued probably about 80% of what I've submitted, and I've submitted
Wow.
just shy of $44,000 in annual premium, simplified issued life insurance.
That's
over the
amazing.
last month. Yeah. I would say things are looking up, and I hope to obviously break my own personal best record next month, and keep going from there. So.
What's your goal? Like, what is that personal best for you in a month?
Yeah, my personal best in a month, like career wise, life insurance wise, has been just shy of 60,000 in a month.
Wow. Okay.
But I really don't see a reason why 70 or 80,000, or even 100,000 in a month wouldn't be
Hmm.
possible, because what was limiting me previous to this was literally geography, Earl. I mean, I could only be in one place
Yeah.
at one time.
Right.
And so I live in the Houston area, and so it's a big geographically spread out. It's a huge market, which is great. We got
Hmm.
8 million people around here, which is terrific.
Wow.
But, having to drive and stoplights and stop for lunch
Yeah,
and,
I know. I
just
know.
logistically, you can only be in front of so many people that way. And what I love about this program is that I can stack my calendar up with appointments, every 15 minutes. And I'll figure out within a couple of minutes being on the phone with a veteran if I'm talking to somebody who's really looking to apply for life insurance for their family or not. And then I can be in Kansas and Florida and
Yeah.
Alabama and Louisiana and Texas, and I can be in all these places in the course of 90 minutes, and so I just have so much of a broader like net, I guess, that I'm fishing with now.
Yeah.
And so I don't see any reason why there might not be a month this year in 2023 that I have $100,000 issue pay month, which is my
Yeah.
goal.
Well, I mean, you see people in the program that are already there. They're doing that right now, in the Agent Accelerator program. That geographical thing that you just talked about, not being locked in by geography, I think is huge. And if you're running appointments actually like you used to do door to door, you are very limited to, unless you want to spend money to do like a travel trip or go here or go there, and that's money, you know. And hopefully there's not a debacle like there was yesterday or the day before with the airlines, right? uh where you either try to get home or get to where you're going. That was crazy. But how much has that really enlightened you and opened your eyes when you realized I'm not locked in to Houston?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels really good because I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like I've learned a lot in the 3 years that I've been selling life insurance about products and underwriting and field underwriting and just every time I fail, I learn something, and I've
Hmm.
failed a lot over the last 3 years, so I've learned a lot, and you know I really feel like I could help a lot of people that I just don't happen to live near.
Yeah.
There's again, I have clients now that are veterans that are out of state, and I've been really proud to serve them. I've been really happy to, folks that I really feel like I've gotten to know pretty well on our phone call.
Yeah.
With their wife and their family and their beneficiaries and stuff, and so it feels really good just having like a huge, broad, big pool
Yeah.
to be able to find the folks that want my help and that need my help, and do it in a way that makes sense based on modern 2023
There it is.
technology.
Exactly. I
So.
mean, so many times I think we're life insurance agents in particular, the way that we've been taught is just 1970s.
Yeah.
It's like so crazy when you have all this technology right now. I mean, knowing that the geography thing was a big thing for you, what do you think the biggest thing you've actually learned in the past 2 months? What's the thing that has most impacted you about being a part of the Agent Accelerator program?
What's the thing that I've learned? So I think about the things that how I failed. I guess I've learned a lot about non-resident licensing,
Ah,
and I've learned that I probably should have started trying to get licensed in California a couple of weeks before I did. Um, but aside from that, I think that's what I've really taken away is that I didn't let it stop me or keep me from trying. But in my mind, I thought that there would be some sort of a kind of a drop off in the quality of the conversation that I could have
mhm.
with a client on the phone when we were just only talking on the phone and we weren't seeing each other face to face or sitting in the same room with each other. And I still feel like that, but to a much smaller degree. I really have taken away from being in this program that it's entirely possible to have really rich conversations with people and really get down to it and get to know them really well and have them really get to know you really well, just on a phone call, on a phone conversation,
Yeah.
which shouldn't, I guess it shouldn't have surprised me, but I think I really feel like it has.
Well, you never did it
Because I
before,
really,
so that you know.
yeah, but I really have clients now that I really care a lot about, and that have really thanked me, and sincerely, let me know that they really appreciate the way I do things and stuff. And again, we just talking on the phone, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think was the biggest influence in regards to? I mean, your first month with us, you did maybe 5-6K.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the second month, 40K.
Yeah.
How did that jump?
Yeah, so I'm real coachable.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself to be real coachable, and what Todd told me is that he had invested at a certain level for the first 2 months, and then that
Mm-hmm.
third month he increased how much he was putting out in ad spend.
Mm-hmm.
And what he shared with me is that he wished that he would have increased his ad spend sooner, a month sooner.
Mm.
And so what I did, Earl, I just learned from his mistake and just did what he said he wished he would have done. So I gave it that first month to get the audience looking right and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that needs to get done. And then as soon as that 4 week mark hit, I went ahead and leaned in.
Yeah.
And so I think that I probably attribute it to that. Honestly, it's just if I'm in front of more people, talking to more people
Lead
who
flow.
want to have a conversation about life insurance,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna have more customers. It
Exactly.
stands to reason. So
Lead flow is a big part of it. And, we encourage that just like Todd encouraged you. And like he said, I wish I would have just did it earlier. And it doesn't hurt. It only helps.
yeah,
There's no one in our program that has done that hasn't seen a jump in what happens because you have the opportunity to have more activity, more conversations, and more conversations leads to more sales.
yeah, that's it. Exactly right. And I can't tell you how great it's felt. I like. I should say. I was about to say I like prospecting. I should take that back. I like prospecting to a degree, to an
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
But man, I can't tell you how great it feels to be in a system now where my calendar, it feels like it fills itself up because of the veterans that come through, the ones that want to raise their hand and book an appointment with me, they do that. And then with a dialer that helps out and then follows up and books appointments. I mean, it's terrific to wake up and have 8, 9, 10 appointments on my calendar that I didn't have to be the one to go and make 400 phone
500
calls to
calls,
set
right?
those 10 appointments myself. It's like, oh, what a breath of fresh air. So now, don't get me wrong, I am making sure to reach out to the veterans that don't have appointments set yet, and I am prospecting because that's just who I am, and that's what I've always done. It's what I'll
Yeah.
always do. But it just to be able to prospect because you want to, instead of prospecting because you have to, because otherwise there's nothing that's going to get done. It's just a
Yeah.
totally different feel.
How good is it, or with the setter that we've trained for you to basically make all of those dials?
Mm-hmm.
How does that impact you, your life, your family, your
Man,
mindset?
Earl, I knew a guy from back in the day. Back in the day with the supplemental health thing, it was a door-to-door deal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were good at it, you could figure out how to do it by referral only. So you didn't do as much door-to-door.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew a guy back in the day named Jim. And he was in his late 40s, man, with a family and a bunch of kids and stuff. It was real sad. He passed away real suddenly from a heart attack, and terrible. And I loved him. He was a great guy. I knew his wife and stuff from trips. And it was sad. And I don't know. I thought about it. And at the time, I kind of wondered he was super healthy. He ran. He was in shape and stuff. And I kind of wondered if like having to put himself out there and be physically at somebody's front door over and over and over again and taking that kind of like psychological toll, and the stress and the way that your blood pressure responds and just all the physiological stuff going on. I had to wonder if maybe what caused Jim to pass away prematurely had to do with maybe his profession. I mean, it's sad to say. I don't know it for a fact, but going to answer your question, man, I mean, yeah, my just my whole energy and my whole my body is responding differently in the last couple of months. Like I said, knowing that I have people who want to talk to me about life insurance, who are on my calendar and on my schedule, who I need to show up for, at our appointment times, without any of the process of having to go through all the rejection and all the the BS and the nonsense and the no's and the tire, all that stuff. It really makes a big difference to how I feel about my business and how I feel day in and day out just personally, about life, I guess. And
Yeah.
again, I always want to take my medicine. Rent is due every day, and so I'm going to put in
Mhm.
work, and I'm going to prospect, and I'm going to try to outdial my dialer. I'm going to try to outwork,
Awesome.
my appointment setter. But again, it's different knowing that if I don't get to making prospecting calls today because I'm so busy,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that tomorrow and the next day I won't have any appointments,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's great to be able to just talk to nothing but clients back to back to back to back to back,
Isn't it though?
for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then realize that tomorrow I've got more appointments already set up because that's all been working behind the scenes to keep me full,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, kind of to toot our own horn, but not really. But we've really figured something out at AJC. One, because, we've been in your shoes. We've experienced all the ups and downs of being a life insurance agent. And, I know one of the things for me, Adam, is that I used to hate when I would ask someone, well, how do I get better at this? And the only answer I ever got was, do you know what the answer I got was, Adam?
yeah, get more leads.
There it is. You know it. It's like, that's the only freaking answer you ever get. It's like, no, you need a system in place that's going to do and take away some of the things that need to be taken away. I always tell life insurance agents the whole reason that we hire and train setters for life insurance agents is because that is the most mundane part, and it's not the most revenue generating activity part. The revenue generating activity part is you doing sales calls. That's it. It's like that setting part is like a low level job. It's like a $6 an hour job. You shouldn't be doing $6 an hour work, right? You need to invest in your business, like Todd informed you how to do, as far as to increase your lead flow and things of that nature. This month, I mean, what do you think you'll hit in January?
January. I'm hoping to issue 40,000.
Okay,
is my goal. So,
wow, well, you already know you can hit that.
mm-hmm.
You already know you can hit that. So that is attainable. Whatever you did last month, you do the same thing this month. That's what'll happen, basically. And if you want to increase, then you already know how to increase as well. You increase your ad spend or whatever it is you need to do, and go from there. And you're going to hit that 100K month. That's coming in 2023.
I've been adding licenses in states
Exactly.
as I've gone along, and so now that I'm licensed in more states that I'm not now, and that's going to make it a lot easier for me to get
Absolutely
business issued next month compared
Absolutely.
to last month.
There are always people. I mean, we talk to we talk to a lot of life insurance agents every single week that are looking into our program. They've seen us for a while. They're trying to make a decision on what it is that they should do, whether join or not join the program. What would you tell someone, kind of like if you were in Todd's position, right? What would you tell someone that came to you about the program at AJC and if they need to be a part of it?
I think that you'll know if it's something that you need to do. Personally, if you need to do it, then do it. Do it all the way. Jump in with both feet, and make sure you're coachable. So, I was already expecting, and I knew that I was going to have in the first month a different experience in terms of the types of leads I'd be talking to, how many appointments I'd have, all that kind of thing. I was prepared for that ahead of time. So, if you need to just make sure that you've got the capital set aside and ready to invest, because that first month is going to be just that. It's going to be an investment where you just push that capital in and just put yourself in a position where you can jump in with both feet, man. And so that way, once you do get into it, you really are able to leverage it and use the platform the way it can be used without having to feel, half in and half out. So
yeah,
if you're going to do it, just do it all the way.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Tell me about the drum set in the back. What's going on with that?
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I do enjoy. I moonlight as a drummer in weekends every now and then. So it's my new drum. I like to take a couple minutes and listen to myself play it every now and then.
Awesome, man. Well, it's a stress reliever probably as well.
Yep.
So, and make sure you beat it and hit that tambourine or cymbal, whatever that is, every time you make a sale, because that's going to be the thing right there. But man, I definitely appreciate you being here with us today. I appreciate your time. I definitely appreciate your energy, and the smile is just amazing. It tells the whole story about why it is that you're here and why we're here doing what it is that we're doing. So thanks for your time, man, and thanks for hanging out with me today and telling your story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Earl.
All right. And I think you, the listening audience, I don't know what's going on with my music. Hey, I'm doing a podcast live, doing a podcast recording. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure that you do check the links in the description, because there's going to be a lot of stuff there that can probably help and assist you with the things that you want to do. We've got a free course, over 30 hours of training to help you go from 0 to 100K a month. Go ahead and grab it. Check those links in there. And once again, thank you so much, Adam. And we'll see all of you guys on the next show. You take care. Hey, I know you just enjoyed this video, but I've got a great one for you right here. Make sure you go ahead and click it right now and get a ton more of our free information that's going to show you how to go from 0 to 100K per month.